Today we built a roster of the shortest NFL players possible, and we're going to see if this team can make it all the way to the playoffs. So taking a look at the roster for the shortest team ever, you got Bryce Young at QB, 5'10", 75 overall. Hopefully he can have a standout year for this offense. On the running back side, we have a pretty decent running back room, 5'7", Singletary, Scott, and Deuce Vaughn, of course, at 5'6", and then you got McLaughlin at 5'7", so a pretty good running back core. Again, the speed not as high as we'd like, but we'll see what that group can do. Out at receiver, we have Moore, McKenzie, Beasley, Trent Taylor, Connor Hayward, and Josh Harris. I mean, we got a pretty decent receiving core. You got Hardy, who's injured as well. He'll be back. Again, not a ton of size at all out there. Everybody under 6 foot, but there is quite a bit of speed. But I do think the big difference maker is the defense. We have Aaron Donald, one of the smallest right ends in terms of height, 99 overall, going to be able to move over to left end for us, because over at our right end, we have Grady Jarrett. He's 6 foot, the smallest one I could find. He's 87 overall. So right now, the left and right ends are looking very strong for the shortest team in the NFL. And then another standout, Nick Bolton, 5'11" middle linebacker, and behind him, David Long Jr., a 5'11" middle linebacker. These linebackers, not the biggest out there, obviously, nobody really reaching over 7 foot for the starters, but they do have some good stats and abilities. And then the other huge standout, you have Tyrann Mathieu and Antonio Winfield Jr. out at free safety. Both of these two are tremendous playmakers that we're going to be able to move over probably to free safety and strong safety respectively. So as a whole, the team is 79 overall, led by the defense, who is 83 overall, the offense at 77 overall. It's going to be an interesting season. We're going to see if the shortest possible NFL team can make a run potentially to the postseason. And to open up the new season, we're going to jump in with this team to see what type of weapons they have and how they perform against a division rival with the Las Vegas Raiders. So we're jumping in here. We are tied 3rd and 6, and Garoppolo finds his target. It's Renfro in the back of the end zone. It's a touchdown. So the defense struggling early. The offense didn't fare too much better. Bryce Young right here trying to squeeze it to a target. Beasley, it is jumped, picked off by the strong safety, and he would break a tackle, get through a second whiff, and it'd be a pick 6. We're down 14-0 here on our home field. So week 1 not adding up for the team that really needs to live up to some expectations that hopefully we can deliver on here. We got some good young talent. We got some speedsters here, as you see Boston Scott able almost to get into the end zone. But can the team that doesn't have much size be able to power through? Singletary can. He makes it now a 1-score game. Defense gets us the ball back, and Bryce Young showing you the wheels he can get out. 1st and goal from the 2. Next play, Singletary's his 2nd of the day, and just like that, we are squared at 14 after a field goal. Now trailing there to Boston Scott out of the flats. He's picked up, but it's a big pickup, and it sets up a 4th and 4 field goal, which would tie this game up here. So we're in the 3rd quarter, tied at 17 all, 3rd and 11, and Aaron Donald, a one-man wrecking crew, goes through 2 blockers, picks up the sack, and now the offense with a 3rd and 7 to pick up some blocks. Here is Boston Scott, a spin move, and he'd get across down to the 37-yard line. And on 3rd and 10, Bryce Young continuing to show you the mobility he has as a QB, able to get down inside the 15. And 3 plays later, 3rd and 6 on the slant, Isaiah McKenzie connection. It's a touchdown. The Broncos with their first lead of the game. The defense just needs one big stop here. 4th quarter, juke out. The defense able to hold up. 4th and 2. They would go for it, and Aaron Donald trying to bring pressure and ill-advised, and just completely whiffed on the pass. Long Jr. in coverage. So we're up a touchdown. Inside 2 minutes, we would seal the deal. A big win here as the Broncos, week 1, win this one 31-17. So we start off with a 1-0 victory, but unfortunately several injuries to some key players here. As you can see, Leno Jr., Singletary, and Hardy all out for a significant amount of time. We're going to go ahead and get to the mid-season point of the year and see how this short squad is performing. And at this current juncture, you see we are 3-4, trailing behind the Chargers and of course the Chiefs, who we have here in this week 8 matchup. I'm taking a look at the team to see how they're doing. Bryce Young at this point, over 1,200 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 5 picks. Not numbers we're really pleased by. On the ground, we've been splitting it up against a numerous amount of guys. You look at this, you got Singletary, 63 carries, 249, 3 touchdowns. Boston Scott's having a solid year overall. Bryce Young, 34 rushes for 178 with a touchdown. McLaughlin's got in there a little bit as well. So really evening out the carries. Receiving wise, also very spread out. Our top guy is Connor Hayward with 22 receptions, but our top receiver overall, Rondell Moore, 264 yards with a touchdown. Overall, nobody with more than 2 touchdowns at this point. And the big area I wanted to pay attention to is our offensive line, and so far only have allowed 4 sacks on the year. And again, an undersized offensive line compared to the rest of the league. So far, performing very well, led by Shaq Mason, of course. Defensively, Bryce Callahan, our corner, with 40 tackles, leads the team. Currently, our top sack man, of course, Aaron Donald, who has 11.5 sacks at this juncture. And we have our INT leaders with Williams, Winfield Jr., and Reed Jr., all with 1 pick. We're back here. We're at Mile High. We're taking on the Chiefs in this Week 8 matchup. We're going to see if we can pull off a massive upset in the division to take down the one-loss Chiefs. And we're just going to go ahead and simulate the first half to see how this team does defensively. We're trailing early, 7-0. Let's see if the offense can get something. And right now, it's all Chiefs here in the first quarter. Come on, get a stop, defense. We're going to go down 14-0, y'all. It's not looking good, but we need to capitalize on this lengthy drive. We get a field goal out of the matter, and we get the ball back. So with a chance here, we're going to see if they can put the ball in the end zone. They do. It's Bryce Young to Cole Beasley. It's a 1-score game here in the first half, and they get the ball back. But they pick. No. Mahomes, a touchdown. There is a pick, a fumble of some sort, and that is a huge play right before the half. Let's see if there's anything we can do. We get the ball to start the second half. We're trailing by 11, but another INT, Justin Reed, flips the field, but we get one back. Nick Bolton, we're trading picks here. Get in the end zone, guys. 4th and 5. I got to jump in. So a big spot. It's 4th and 5. I'm jumping in here to see if I can bring any sort of pressure. Maybe get a conversion. We do. Let's go. First down. Now we're looking here, staring in the face of a 3rd and 3. This defensive front got to get some blocks here. Let's see if we can get something here for Bryce Young. He's able to rush forward, get to a 1st and goal at the 8. So this is a big play at this juncture of the game. We stayed in the game overall. We need to limit the turnovers. Obviously, that's been a big problem for us. But we're going to take off running around. He's looking. We got a wide open target there, and it's Cole Beasley. Another one for Beasley out of the free agent pool. One of the smallest guys, but a big impact player. And of course, we're going to make it a 2-point conversion, trying to make this a 3-score game. And on the zig, we drop it. So it's a 5-point game. So big spot here. It's a 3rd and 13. The defense needs to get Mahomes off the field. We got Aaron Donald being usered here. See if we can get something going. It's a screen pass, and Mahomes is eating up right there. Bolton on the stop. So we pick up here in the 4th quarter, 3rd and 6 here. We're going to go to Singletary on the screen pass. So if we can get some good blocking here. We have the blocks. We have all we need. Singletary's going to juke through. He gets picked up. Goodness gracious. But it's a first. So 1st down and 10 for the Broncos, who have just been playing their butt off here in this game to try to compete with this one-loss team. Big gain there. 2nd and inches. We're going to try to convert here with Scott, or Singletary, excuse me. He's able to chew forward, pick up about 5 or 6 on that one. And we're going to try to see if Moore can carry that safety over, and we may have a touchdown waiting for us here. We're looking downfield. I'm taking off. We get the block we need, and Bryce Young into the end zone for the tutty, and the Broncos take their first lead. And we're going back out here with a 2-point conversion. We're going to see if we can get it. And we got the slant. We got the catch. It is Moore. We're up 3, 8:04 remain. So 1st and 10 after a massive play and then a following penalty. So now we're going to see if we can get anything here. 1-on-1, and it's almost picked. It was dropped in and out of the hands. 3rd and 2, watching slants. We're going to go right here, and there's the pressure. It's a sack. Big play from the defense. And it's a 4th and 11. They're going to try to tie it up. So the clock rolling out here. 3rd and 13. We're just going to try to go to Boston Scott on this screenplay, because look at that. You got a wide open empty field here. He jukes back, picks up the 1st down. Big gainer. So at 3rd down and 2, we're going to see if we can get the blocks we want up front. We do. Scott patient right there through the gap, able to pick up the first. Shaq Mason, though, hurt on the play for Denver. And we're in a tricky spot here. It's a 3rd and 4. We're going with a quarterback read option, and it's going to be Bryce Young pulling. He's going to try to get to the pylon. In. Touchdown, Broncos, with about a minute 20 some odd remaining. Big play, Young. And this is the ball game for our defense. We get a stop. It's over. 4th and 7. 1 timeout remains. We're trying to get a pass rush here on Aaron Donald, and it's going to be batted up in the air. Dropped. Incomplete, and the Broncos will pull off a massive upset here on our home turf. Well, battered and bruised, but not beaten. The Broncos, the shortest team in the NFL, pulls off the major upset. We'll see if that can carry us and some momentum potentially to the postseason. Well, unfortunately, the Broncos didn't quite have the roster to make it to the postseason. A 8-9 record overall. In terms of the NFC, you see where we stack up. We were a couple spots out. So you had the Steelers, the last spot, 10-7, had enough to make it in the wild card. The Broncos, 8-9 overall. We finished with 3 home wins. We are a road warrior team, 5 road wins this year. Let's see some of the stats from this little team we had here. Overall in the season, we had the 29th ranked offense in terms of yards per game, and defensively a top 10 defense. So it's nice seeing that the defense held up their part. The offense 25th in points per game and 5th in points allowed per game. A really remarkable year from the defensive effort. Bryce Young would finish with 3,400 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, and 14 picks, with a completion rate at 65%. On the ground, again, splitting carries amongst 4 guys realistically. Boston Scott led us, 189 rushes, 505 yards, only 2 touchdowns. Bryce Young, actually, the rookie, 400 yards on the ground and 5 rushing touchdowns. You see the rest of the guys here. A very very welcoming rushing offense there, splitting it up amongst these 4 targets. Through the air, it was Rondale Moore's game. He had 859 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns. That leads the team, followed by Isaiah McKenzie, Cole Beasley, and Connor Hayward. And again, we talked about this Broncos offensive line, and towards the end of the year, it kind of fell flat a little bit here. Willis Jr. had 6 sacks allowed, and then after that, nobody else with more than 4. Defensively, we are led by 2 targets here. We got Winfield Jr. and Callahan, 86 tackles respectively. We are led by their sack leader here, 19.5 from Aaron Donald, who is just a big player for this defense, a top 5 defense at that. And then we had 3 picks from Nick Bolton, our linebacker, that led the team overall. And looking at the season recap, it may not have been a season we wanted, as the Ravens defeat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson, your MVP, and overall a solid year, but it may not have been the result we wanted from this small squad. But overall, this small squad really outperformed, I think, the overall we had at 79. I think they had a really solid season, and it would be a fun roster to watch develop over the years. Let me know what you want to see next here. Potentially going to have some more of these coming up in the future, but y'all stay safe, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.